Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So finally got through that video of all of the owned books that I have put on my 2023 TBR due to some inspiration, and got through all of that, got them on my shelves. Now they don't look empty, but I just want to kind of go over with you the books that I am actually going to unhaul. Either these are books that I have read and I just don't want to keep on my shelves due to maybe not having like a 4 or a 5-star read, or they're books that I have picked up and intended to read. They've sat for years or something on my shelf, and I've kind of grown out of what I was wanting to read out of that. So there's going to be quite a few books, my first big unhaul of 2023, and it feels really good to start the year with cataloging all the books that I have, taking accountability for all of the books that I own that I haven't read, and it really opens my eyes to the fact that I need to get through them before I really start buying more books. I mean, of course, I'm going to buy them throughout the year because there's new releases coming out and all of that. But I want to kind of keep it at a minimum, clear out my shelves, and then start buying books that I actually really want to read rather than seeing it and being like, oh, this sounds kind of cool. So we'll see how that goes once I get it cleared out and how many books I can get through in 2023, because like I said, there are new releases coming out that of course I'm going to want to read the moment they do, or I might get a viewer recommendation, or one of my friends may want a buddy read something. So there's always going to be things thrown in there, but most of my TBRs each month are going to be books that I own, and we'll see how that goes. So, if you've watched that previous video that I have uploaded, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you watched it or any books that you think that I should be prioritizing. I'm pretty excited for that. And then definitely let me know after this video which books I'm getting rid of that you think I should reconsider, because, I may be getting rid of them, but you may think, wow, this book is really good. I think that you would enjoy it and things like that. So let me know. I'll leave the video up for about a week, and then I'm just going to unhaul all the books. So make sure that you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, stick around for 2023. I think it's going to be a great year, have some good content coming out, some really good books that I'm actually excited to read. So without further ado, let's get into the book unhaul. So the first couple of books, I am getting rid of Foul Lady Fortune. I own the Fairy Loot Special Edition on this, so I don't need a second copy. And then The Forbidden Queen by Anne O'Brien. I know that it was in my 2023 TBR list, but after going through my shelves and putting things back on, I was just like, I'm just not going to read this. I'm not drawn to it anymore. I really like my historicals, and I really like things set in the Tudor time frame and such, and Philippa Gregory is a really good author, which I am unhauling most of her books as well because I have read them. This one was a recommendation because I like the Philippa Gregory books. I'm just kind of not feeling it anymore, and I'm not going to keep books that I don't really intend to read. Speaking of Philippa Gregory, here are all the books that I'm going to be getting rid of. I have read all of these. I love her. I actually think I have Tidelands on my bookshelf. I was seeing if I could find it quickly, but I can't, which is one of her newer series that I haven't read yet, but all of hers that are based around like the Plantagenet Tudor time frame, I have read. So I'm just going to get rid of it. But this is The Women of the Cousins' War. And then you have The Constant Princess, The White Queen, The Red Queen, The Boleyn Inheritance. Do I have any Tudor fans that watch my videos? Because I'd love to talk Tudors with you. You have Meridian, you have The Virgin's Lover, and then you have the other Boleyn girl. what else do I have? The Other Queen, which is about Mary, Queen of Scots. You have The Last Tutor, which I believe is about James, isn't it? I couldn't remember. Anyway, you have that. And then The White Queen again. Why I have 2 copies, I couldn't tell you. So there are those. And then I feel really bad getting rid of these books, but I loved them. They were great at the time. They are actually personalized to me, I believe. Let me double check. Maybe they're not actually. They are personalized to me. So I feel horrible for getting rid of it. But in all honesty, I loved them at the time, but I don't think that I need to keep them because I need to make room for other books that really spoke to my heart more. This is an indie author. It's Cassie Swindon. Check out these books. They're amazing. I'm not getting rid of them because they're not amazing. I just feel like they had a place in time for the past couple of years with me. I absolutely love it. I still talk to Cassie from time to time. But I'm kind of, wanting to make room for other books and stuff. So these need to go to a home that I think would love them more. But book 1 is Break the Stone. And then book 2 is Hunt the Storm. And then the third and final book is Stop the Clock. They are amazing, amazing books. Really loved them. I'm actually kind of rethinking keeping them. I think I'm going to hold on to them for just a moment longer because I really enjoyed them. But now thinking about it, maybe I enjoyed them more than I think I did. So we're going to hold off on that. Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey. I know that this was on my 2023 TBR as well. Again, I got to get rid of it because I'm not going to read it. I don't feel like I'm ever going to read it. And so why am I going to keep that? We have Dark Fire by Christine Feehan, The Witching Hour by Anne Rice, and also Angel Time by Anne Rice. I did keep Interview with the Vampire. I don't even know if I'm going to like Anne Rice. And to be honest with you, whenever this is like just $1 or $2 at the bookstore that I go to, the used bookstore, I'll just pick it back up if I want to. This book was for my husband. It's In the Garden of Beasts by Eric Larson. My husband really likes World War II and, all of that time frame. And this was about a American family living in Berlin. I don't think that it's like a true story, but it's, a take on what Berlin was like back then. I also am getting rid of, I don't know where the second book is. Oh, there it is. So you have Angel Fire, which is an autographed copy by Courtney Allison Moulton, and then also Wings of the Wicked that I'm getting rid of. I read them. They were okay. I just don't feel like I need to keep them on my shelves. Our Country Friends by Gary Stangart. I picked this up, really intended on reading it, but I don't think I'm going to read it. So, bye. That's how I feel. The End of Oz. I read the first and second book in this series. It's like a contemporary take on The Wizard of Oz, kind of like a dark version of it. But I didn't really like it. It's the Dorothy Must Die series. And I think this is the final one. And I actually have a signed first edition. But I think I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't feel like I'm ever going to finish that series. I have Splendor and Envy by Anna Godberson. I'm never going to read those. I've had them on my shelf for so long. This is another series. I think I picked this up at my local library. I think there's another one, but I can't find it. Anyway, I don't even know what book 1 is, to be honest with you. I think I have books 3, 4, 5, 6. But I don't have books 1 and 2. It's really strange. Frenzy by Robert Leparolo. I thought that I was going to pick these up. Gatekeepers. And then Timescape. and Whirlwind. They were all a quarter at my library, and I was like, this sounds like a really good series. I'll pick up books 1 and 2, read them, and then I have the physical ones. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. These books I'm really sad about getting rid of because I really wanted to read them because I really like L.J. Smith's writing. They're bind-ups of 3 of the books in the series. I don't think I have the first bind-up, and so yeah, I only have volumes 2 and 3, so I just didn't want to hunt down volume 1 if I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. It's the Night World series by L.J. Smith, book 2 and 3. Just gonna part ways with it and just kind of be done. I also have Dark Visions by L.J. Smith. I really like the writing of L.J. Smith. I just don't think I'm ever gonna get to these, if you want honesty. We'll see. I may end up changing my mind. Like I said, I'm going to keep this on for a week and then kind of see what people tell me to read. These are other books that I got at the library. Conjuring the Universe by Peter Atkins, and then also Mask of the Sun by John Dvorak. I'm really into space and stuff. I just don't think that I'm ever going to read them. I got this as something from the publisher, Fetish. It's a anthology, an erotic anthology. This is my second copy of Tidelands by Philippa Gregory, so I kept one of them. I'm going to get rid of this one. And then I don't have book 1, but I have World After and End of Days by Susan E. I don't have the first one, and I also have the Fairy Loot special editions, so I don't think I need the paperbacks of them. I'll give them to somebody who's wanting to continue the story. Also Aphrodite in Bloom, another erotic thing. I'm getting rid of all of my Stephen King. I have read 11/22/63. Loved that book. But then I tried Salem's Lot by Stephen King back in October. I can't get into his writing. Plus, I'm not a big horror fan. So I'm just parting ways with all these. I know all of them are not horror, but I'm not a fan of his writing. I really liked 11/22/63, but nothing else. So I'm done with Stephen King. I have The Shining and It that I have. And I think I was intending on reading Stephen King, but I just can't do it anymore. I have The Green Mile in this slipcase. That's pretty neat. So if you live around me and you want any of these, go to Second Hands Bookstore. Changing Hands Bookstore is where I go. Anyway, Witchlanders is an ARC copy that I'm not ever going to read. After Dark with Roxy Clark. I actually read this back in September, I believe, right before October. I loved this book. You can go back and watch my wrap-up of September, I believe. It was August or September. And really loved this, but I want to give somebody else a chance to really love it too. Sister Novelist by Devoni Loser. This came from the publisher. I did not request it at all. And I'm not ever going to read it. So we're just going to get rid of it. I have Dark Fire by Christine Feehan. Did I already have that? Clearly, I have 2 copies that I'm unhauling. Okay. This is why I need a list of books that I own, so I'm not buying them. I have The Lady in the Tower by Alison Weir. Again, it's another Tudor novel that I loved, but I'm just kind of going to get rid of it. I do have a lot of Ken Follett. A couple of his that are on top is A Column of Fire and The Evening and the Morning. I really loved the Pillars of Earth series. But they're honkers and they're heavy and they take up a lot of room, like a whole shelf. And so since I don't love them as much as I do other books, I'm just going to go ahead and unhaul them. I have The Princes of Ireland by Edward Rutherford. Another arc that I did not ask for, which was Winterland by Ray Meadows. I get them sent to me, and then some of them are not ones that pull at me, so I don't ever want to read them, and so I feel bad for that, but what else can you do? I have If It Bleeds by Stephen King, and then also Salem's Lot that I'm getting rid of. This was an arc that I got. I love outer space. Couldn't wait to read this, and I was disappointed. You can go back and read my October wrap-ups if you want to hear about this trash mess. But A Starry Messenger by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then we already know that I am not a fan of Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have figured that out in the past couple of months, so I'm getting rid of A Light in the Flame, which was a pre-order that I did, and I forgot about it, and it just came in the mail, and so I was like, well, there's another book I'm unhauling, because I just wasn't going to mess around with trying to return it. So I'm trying to get them out of this bin here, so it'll be a little bit easier. This is a series. It's by Heather Frost. I loved them. They are, personalized to me as well. But I didn't really love this series very much. It's good. It's a great fantasy romance if you like that, but it just didn't intrigue me as much as other ones do, so I'm getting rid of them. There is the Asides, a short story collection by her, and then also book 1 is called Royal Decoy. It's the Fate of Orinthia series, and then there's Royal Spy. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those. She is an indie author. I do love Heather Frost. She's such a sweet, sweet author, but I didn't like them near as much as I thought I would. So I'm definitely parting ways. More Ken Follett with these chunky books. World Without End. And then you have Edge of Eternity. Try to hold that book up for a while trying to talk about it. Oh, goodness. You have Fall of Giants and Winter of the World. That's a trilogy. That is pretty neat. I mean, Winter of the World, for instance, kind of goes over, beginning of the 19th century, whenever there was the Titanic, World War I, World War II, all of that. So if you liked his Pillars of the Earth series, or if you like historical fictions, definitely pick up Ken Follett. I think that he's a great and outstanding author, and I love his books. They're just too big, and I need to make room. And so since they are like 10 pounds each, literally, I'm just going to get rid of them. And then I'm a House of Night fan by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, but I am getting a lot of their hardbacks and signed copies, so I don't need the paperbacks. So I have Burned, that is a House of Night novel, Betrayed, and Hunted that I'm going to get rid of. And then I also have Chosen and Untamed that I am going to get rid of. So we're going to get rid of that. Some more Stephen King. I have Dr. Sleep, and then the Salem's Lot that I did read. We have The Outsiders that I'm going to get rid of. And then also another one in that Dorothy Must Die series. It's War. I think this is the third book. I think it's the second or third book in that series. And then Second Bride Down, which is by Jenny Baird. This I got sent to me by the publisher as well. I read the first one, which was The Matchmakers, or The Matchmaker Bride, I think is what it was called. Anyway, this is another one. It's a small town charming romance. So if you like that, definitely pick up Jenny Baird's stuff. I really enjoyed it. I'm getting rid of Circe by Madeline Miller. I already own another copy, which is actually just right here. I don't need 2 copies of that. And then down to the last few, I have Marked, which is the first book in the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. And then these two are special editions that I'm going to get rid of. I never read them. I don't intend to read them, but it is Heart of Thorns by Bree Barton. Yeah, and then I have Together We Burn by Isabel Ibanez. I'm going to get rid of those as well because I just don't intend on reading them. And since they are signed and special editions, I'm hoping that somebody will love them at my Second Chance bookstore. But that is all the books that I am unhauling today. So you're definitely going to see how many, because I haven't added it up yet, but I'll put it in the title of how many books I am unhauling today. Hopefully it's going to be several months before I unhaul more books, unless I'm actually getting through quite a bit on my shelves. So if you like any of these, if you think that I should rethink having them, let me know in the comments below. But until then, everyone, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!